What's up, Boulder, Colorado?
Topics.
Controversial. What controversy do we have around here? We don't have any controversy around here.
Stephen A. Smith.
Today, we've got several great news stories for you. So, we're going to make like your crazy uncle at Christmas and say some crazy stuff and hope you still love us. Our main story today is about Coach Prime landing another major upgrade for this team. Plus, we're going to talk about Chad Ocho-Cinco getting shot down and a couple other great stories. So grab you a Cinnabon here the day after Christmas, sit back and get ready because this is the prime time for college football. Now, our first story today, we're going to talk about Colorado bringing in a massive upgrade. Recently, Coach Prime landed linebacker DJ Lundy. Now, he comes from, I know that you guys aren't going to believe this, Florida State University, somewhere that he has seen a ton of transfers come from. Now, Florida State was undefeated this year, and Lundy played in all 13 games. He had 48 tackles, 5 of them for a loss. You can remember, and you can search his highlights to see one of them that was a massive one against Jaden Daniels of the LSU Tigers in Week 1, the opening game of the season. He had 1.5 sacks. He had 2 pass breakups, a forced fumble, and he actually scored 2 touchdowns. Lundy was a rare talent for Florida State, only one of 6 players in FBS history with a rushing and receiving touchdown, as well as 40 tackles in the same season. He was a dual threat in high school where he played both offense and defense, and he won a state championship and a wrestling title. Lundy should be kind of an immediate impact guy for Colorado. Coach Prime expects Lundy to be a key contributor on defense with his size and experience. And Lundy also has some solid career stats. He's got over 180 tackles, 16.5 for loss, 5 sacks, a forced fumble as well in his college career. Now, Lundy would have been one of the better linebackers coming back for Florida State. As somebody who watches Florida State very closely, Lundy was going to be one of the better linebackers on the team. Lundy also has seen a major jump in development. He was an underrated guy, not somebody that made a massive impact a couple of years ago, wasn't very good in coverage, was kind of a liability there for the Seminoles. But as time went on, and as his development continued, he really is a nice piece at this point. Colorado should get a pretty immediate impact. I would expect that he will compete for the starting role there in Colorado. Now, nothing is going to be given. We know that. Coach Prime will make anyone and everyone on this roster earn it. But I really think that DJ Lundy could come in and make a pretty big impact. We've talked a lot about the trenches. We've done videos and videos and videos on the offensive line. You guys know this. We've talked a lot about the defensive line. We talked about them getting a big-time defensive end transfer. We've talked about some other pieces that they've added there. I feel really confident about where the secondary is there in Colorado with different pieces that we all know and love with Cormani, Travis, Shiloh. You know those names. But what does that linebacker core look like? What does that defensive line look like? You have to win at that front 7. You have to win at the point of attack. You have to be able to stop the run. Lundy should definitely be able to help out a ton at that linebacker level. Now, will he come in and start right away? If he applies himself, if he works hard, if he absolutely balls out in the spring, I believe so. I think his talent level was one that would have started for a Florida State team that went 13-0. He did start for them this year, and I think he would have started for them next year had he remained a Seminole. Will he start for Colorado? That's on him. I believe so. I believe he's one of the more talented guys really on the defensive side of the ball, but certainly in the linebacker room. A really, really big pickup for Coach Prime here. I know that there were some other big-time schools involved with DJ Lundy that he picked Colorado over, and this is a big pickup. This is showing that Coach Prime is moving this thing in the right direction, moving it in the direction that he needs on defense, and so this is a big deal. What do you guys think about this pickup? What do you guys think about getting another Florida State Seminole? I know the Seminole fans out there are not thrilled about this, but also understood that Lundy was looking to leave and had to land somewhere, so nobody's really surprised that it's with Coach Prime. Next, let's talk a little bit about Chad Ocho-Cinco. Chad Johnson once again asking to be a coach. Now, recently, Deion Sanders and Coach Prime and Chad Ocho-Cinco went back at it again on social media. Now, Ocho-Cinco reached out to Coach Prime on Twitter and he posted, "Yo, Deion Sanders, I'm out here recruiting. Now you can hire me." He said, "I got Jordan Seaton to commit and eat McDonald's. Hashtag Coach Ocho." Well, Coach Prime had an amusing response for Ocho. He said, "We're KFC, by the way. If you're going to recruit, let's get the sponsor straight. Great job, though. We need another dog defensive tackle that's hungry. We ain't hard to find." I don't know if you noticed this, if you're on Twitter or X or whatever you're calling it these days, KFC actually responded to Coach Prime and said, "That's right." So maybe we'll have some NIL deals there. I don't know if we've got any going just yet, but I thought that was pretty cool to see that response there on Christmas Day when I saw these tweets. But I do like that Ocho-Cinco is not giving up. I like that he still wants to coach. I like that he still wants to be part of it. I don't know if he's ready for it yet. I still kind of trust Coach Prime on this, but I like how he's all in on coaching. Maybe if he's able to land another couple of 4- or 5-star recruits, we can hire him as an analyst, hire him as kind of a recruiting salesman pitch there, I don't know, and give him kind of a more honorable title than just analyst, something like the bag man or the recruiting wizard or whatever. Maybe we can get him on staff in that capacity. Now, the jokes and going back and forth between Coach Prime and Ocho-Cinco is funny, and I love that. I think that's one of the more fun things that we've seen over the last couple of weeks on social media. Hopefully it continues. Listen, I don't think it's bad to have former NFL Hall of Famers around your facility chatting with these kids and getting them kind of bought in. Chad is also really big into playing Madden, video games, stuff that these kids love. I think that is a net positive. Is he ready to be a full-time coach? I don't know. Is all of this kind of an act between him and Coach Prime to drum up some social media love, to get KFC responding this and it? Maybe. I don't know. But I do know that it's fun. And nobody's complaining about it. It's very goodwill. It's not something that's negative at all. And so I really do enjoy watching it. But there was maybe a little bit of a hidden message in there. Coach Prime, what did he say? He said, "We need another dog defensive tackle that's hungry." Does Coach Prime know about somebody that's about to commit? Does Coach Prime know about a kid that's about to be on this roster that he's about to take away from someone else? Does Coach Prime know about another transfer or another recruit that is about to make a decision for the Buffs? Well, I think that by using that specific position group, I think he does. I wouldn't be surprised in the next day or so if we're back on here talking about another defensive tackle that Coach Prime has picked up. The rules of the NCAA state that you can't mention a player, you can't mention a kid by name, you can't tweet about him unless he's already signed to your program. And so it maybe makes sense to me that Coach Prime would say, "Hey, this is another position I want. See if you can go out and get it, Coach Ocho-Cinco." Now, we'll see what the next couple of days hold. We'll see if another defensive tackle signs on to play with the Buffs. We'll see if that's what's in the cards, but don't be surprised if that's the direction that this ends up going. Coach Prime is very calculated. Coach Prime understands how to kind of pull the strings on different things and hype things up. So if there's a big-time defensive tackle that chooses the Buffs, that transfers to Colorado, that commits to the Buffs, Coach Prime may have told you first, but don't forget which channel told you that was coming. I think that's Coach Prime's hidden message. I think that we might be seeing some fireworks here very soon. Hey, listen, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you had a wonderful holiday. Whatever you celebrate, if you don't celebrate, if you do, whatever. Hope you had some good time off with your family. Hope you enjoyed good food, good family, good friends, your faith, whatever was important to you this Christmas. Thank you guys for supporting us. It's been a fun year. We're going to keep it going. We're not going anywhere soon. Getting close to our 1-year anniversary, which is like in February, I think. We're going to do some fun things. We're going to do some exciting things. We got a few more days left in December, though. We're not going anywhere just yet. A few more days. We're not taking PTO this week. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. Thank you for being part of the channel. We love you. Thank you for watching the prime time for college football.